Okay, this is a review of my Hammerhead SS250, the one that I purchased. I bought this thing on May 17th, and they delivered it to me a day later. I rode it for the day, a little bit. It was kind of raining that day. It got maybe a couple miles on it. Rode it the next day a lot. Got about 90 miles on it. It broke after we came back. My wife went to start it after she was going to put the dogs in there. My dogs, by two beagles, they love going riding in it when it does run. She went to start it and it wouldn't start. We waited a couple minutes, tried to start it, finally started. After it started, the engine was running, the starter stayed running, kept on going. So I shut the key off, I turned the key back off, I pulled the key out, starter kept on going with the engine off. Finally the starter stopped. I thought the battery died. Dealership got it that Monday. It broke on a Saturday, I believe it was. They got it that Monday, and I didn't get it back until about a week and a half later. I got it back the Memorial weekend. They had to replace a starter clutch, and an ignition cylinder. When they did replace the ignition cylinder, there's a cylinder underneath the steering wheel. If somebody was to hotwire it, keeps you from turning the steering wheel. They did not replace that. That's under the old key. They have both of the old keys. They gave me 2 new keys. I don't have a key for that. When I was riding after I went out there, we were riding on some hard packed dirt, broke a weld. Boom. Decided to turn around and go back. Broke another weld. That's 2 welds broken. Both front welds. Now they're all set. They don't even sit in front of the holes. Now, they're telling me they could just weld it. They think it's a weld. I've told the dealership. They said, we just weld it. It's no big deal. It happens all the time. Told TJ Powersports. They said the same thing. It happens all the time, you know. He even said to me, he goes, it's a blue unit. And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, it happens all the time with the blue units. What happens is when it comes off of the line, that the welds on the machine have to settle, all of them. Sometimes some of them break. Well, again, it's not the weld, it's below the weld. That's a big deal to me. It sputters. The last time I took it out after I told the dealership that it broke, he says, it's not a big deal, it's not a structural part of the buggy, you can go ahead and ride it. I took it out for a ride. About 20 minutes later, rode out on the beach, stopped on the beach, took a drink. Stopped for a drink. Went to leave, the buggy had no power. It was sitting there, it was barely crawling through the sand. I had an ATV pull me out of the beach. Rode it back, couldn't go over 22 miles an hour. That's with me, my brother, and a cooler on the back. So, we got that wrong with it. Also on one of the rides, lost one of the bolts, snapped the fender off. Boom, gone. This is the same wheel that has a bulge in the tire. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's the bulge. Same thing happened on this fender. Lost bolt, snapped off. So now I'm missing 2 fenders. Also, with the rubbing on the way back, it split the wires, the insulation on the wire. On both wires. This one's actually got a split in the wire itself. I don't know if you can see it, but so then also when you start it up, there's a tap. Sometimes when you start it up, it's like 95 degrees out today, so it's pretty hot, and it was in the garage. It's over 100 degrees in the garage. It didn't have a hard time pulling it out of the garage. Let's see how well it starts. I'll let it sit there for 15 seconds like the dealer said. You know, da-da-da-da-da. This thing is real great, I'm telling you. I loved it actually when it ran. When it ran, for the few days I've had it, I probably only rode it maybe 5 days. I got 326 miles on there. Let's give it a shot. See if the choke gives me any problems. I mean, like I said, it is pretty warm out. Also, there's a loose wire on the positive cable. Sometimes it doesn't start. I pressed it down before I started it. The nut's missing. They knew that the first time. They did not replace it. Also, when they had it for a week and a half, almost 2 weeks, there it goes. It shut off. I've also turned the idle screw up half a turn. They said to turn it up a half a turn, should do the trick, do it at a quarter turn, 2 quarter turns, and it stopped. Here we go, gotta give it some gas. And it's not good for a 4-stroke to do that, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Also, driver's side headrest is broke. Small little problem, but broke. MP3 speakers, there's a wire missing from the jack all the way back to the speakers. They knew that the first time they've had it for service. They never fixed it. Matter of fact, you can see the output hole has nothing in there. The other speakers wired in. I had to bend all the forks and everything on that wire back to plug it in. It was all bent up. I'll take you on a little ride to show you what's wrong with it. let you know. A whole lot of fun. But this thing is supposed to be what is protecting me. I bought this instead of an ATV for my wife. Basically, it was going to be for her. This thing, the roll cage, was what she wanted because it would make her feel safe. The roll cage don't work so well. Now, if I had flipped on this, I'd be super, super upset. But I'll take you for a quick ride since I only got a little bit of time. When I first got it, I couldn't put it in the reverse. They actually had it adjusted all the way. And now, finally, I guess the cable is stretched enough that it's able to let me put it in reverse and everything. So, I'll take you on the county roads that I always go on. I'll show you. Just buckle up real quick. Hope you can hear the sputter. This is where we put about 300 miles on this thing. Only a couple miles off road. Not many. Hopefully you can hear it. Well, can't go into the fields this time. They're really having a baseball game. It's ridiculous. This thing is supposed to be safe. This ain't safe. I've asked the dealer to pick this up since I haven't even bought a trailer for this thing. I'm not sure if I even want to keep it. I'd rather just sell this thing, let somebody else have the problems, and turn around and just stay somewhere familiar, like a Yamaha. To be honest with you, I wouldn't recommend buying one of these things. TJ won't do nothing about it. The dealership, minitrailbikes.com, sucks. They have the truck to drop it off, but they can't come and pick the damn thing up. And I've got all these issues, and they didn't finish half the shit. They said, oh, well, we'll just get it running for you, and then you can have it, and then when you come for your first service visit. I still got a tank and a half to go through this freaking thing. How many more things are going to break? I mean, I can't trust this thing, but I don't know. I'm done with it. I don't want nothing to do with it no more. I'd rather have a replacement, and I wish the dealership would have done something to help out a little bit, but they don't want to do nothing. Minitrailbikes.com sucks. And TJ Powersports, on the other hand, they needed to step in and pick up the drop ball, and they didn't want to. So, I mean, you make your own decisions about Hammerhead. I'm the only one, apparently, with this problem. Buggy News, there's a lot of people with them. It's a great site, buggynews.com. But, I mean, they have a lot of them, but apparently I'm the only one with the problems. There's this many problems, at least. So, maybe it's just a lemon, maybe it's a fluke. You make your own decisions. As far as I'm concerned, Hammerhead sucks. But you let me know.